We also talk about the running back position with you all the time and about these GMs who don't value the running back position. And, Saquon's mom, she popped the Giants GM right in the nose, basically saying, "You didn't value my kid and now you're paying for it." And I'm sure that must have been music to your ears as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my comments about the Giants general manager and what he literally went on Hard Knocks and did, and yet was able to retain a job. Boy, that right there, that is unbelievable. I mean, that's like I thought you could only get away with that if you were a politician, but obviously even general managers can get away with it. But the reality is this here. Um, I just think that in today's game, the general managers and the guys that do the scouting, they're just looking for the easy route. They need to make the easier decision. Um, Man, Saquon, um, and here's my thing. I understand this New York Giants GM and front office. If we give this guy this money and he's been hurt a lot, and I think he played one full season in totality without missing a game. How do you do it? Well, we got to let it go be somebody else's problem. You can't let it be the Eagles' problem in your division. I could not let that happen. And I understand what they did, but not for the reason why they did it. Not for believing in Daniel Jones, only enough to make to have Daniel Jones be standing on the sidelines during the playoff game that the Minnesota Vikings are playing. It's just unbelievable. Like you messed up on both sides with both guys, and you just can't do that. You just can't do it. Evaluate the players, give them a grade, and know that if you give us a chance, we can perform for you. Ask the Baltimore Ravens with
Hmm.
Derrick Henry, and there's a bunch of
Yeah.
other guys out there too. You just got to put us in position and put the right pieces around us.
Well, and the 2 points you made as to Saquon and to Daniel, those are interlinked. They are intertwined. One of a quarterback's best friends is the running game, because the better the running game, the more the passing game is open. I'm not telling you a damn thing you don't know, Marshall. You did this. The more that the defense has to focus on a running game, the more open receivers are. It goes together. But you know what? For a moment, let's just give a shout out to Saquon's mom. Way to defend your son. That was
Oh yeah,
absolute mom perfection.
yes, and you know what? She defended him because they offended him.
Hmm.
You know,
Beautifully
they
stated.
literally offended him by not respecting the talent. And thank God they didn't. I'm glad they didn't sign him and then trade him, because then he wouldn't have got a chance to go to a
Oh, yep.
contender. And getting a chance to go to a contender, like I remember when I I remember when I got traded. It's funny. And we always talk about this, and I love Bill Polian, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And we kick this can down the road, but Bill Polian didn't send me to the St. Louis Rams to win. You know, he wasn't doing me any favors. Uh, they drafted Edgerrin James, and Edge turned out and had a hell of a career. Worked really well for them. He's in the Hall of Fame as well. But I want you to know, when teams let you go, they're not hoping for the best for you.
That's right.
Let's be honest. It's not That's not the case, because that general manager, he's worried about his job. He's worried about how people see him and what he does.
Yeah, it's a business. I mean, he's not your friend. It's a business.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're making decisions on what's best. And listen, when you draft a guy, when you let a guy go and you draft a guy, you're hoping the guy that you bring in does well, and the guy goes elsewhere and maybe do okay. You're not wishing bad on him, but you're not like, oh, I want him to be the league. I want him to win the Super Bowl one year, then be the league MVP next year. You're not saying that, because it says something about your ability to evaluate.
You think the Giants, I mean, how do you think this GM survived? Because clearly it touched a nerve with you watching him on Hard Knocks the way he was.
It's just we all make mistakes, and
This is a big one.
I felt like it was. I felt like if you get rid of the general manager, then you got to get rid of the head coach. And I don't think it was Dable fault. I think Dable is a heck of a coach. He was just given he was given a bad bag of goods to win with, and it just didn't work. You can't take your best player away and expect you to win. It wasn't his fault. So why not give them both another year? And if it doesn't work, you clean house next year. That's all. Right. And this year it was going to be super hard with all of these teams. I mean, you really didn't have your pick of a head coach. The head coaches got to pick where they wanted to go. I mean, it's unbelievable that you get to do that. Like a head coach get to tell a team, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to take a visit there because of instability." I never heard of that. But so many jobs were available. I think next year probably won't be as many jobs available. And if it doesn't work, then the Giants will get to clean house and do what's best. But um, the GM, he made a mistake, man, and hopefully he will go on record and relieve himself by saying, "Hey, yes, I made a mistake," because
Hmm.
he was pounding his chest and he was too proud of the decision that he made and how he went about it. It was like he was just talking about a guy who was at the end of his career, and this kid is in his prime.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.